Hey guys, this is Vashtra Reads, bringing you another story to listen to while you do what you do. Tonight's story, Protector of Purity and Innocence, is another one brought to you by the wonderful Lydia Rose 003. This story was posted on my subreddit that I set up for you guys, r/Vashtra Reads. I think it's a good one, and I hope you wonderful people do as well. Well, without further ado, let's get this show on the road. My name is Steve. I'm 43 years old, and I was haunted for a few years. Some backstory: it started in 2002 when I married my wife. I'm a psychopath. I was diagnosed with anti-personality disorder when I was 9. Just because I didn't seem to care about people's feelings, I would plot to hurt people, and I didn't and still don't care. I married my ex-wife, whose name we'll keep private and call her Katie or something, in 2002. A year later, became pregnant with a little girl who we named Lydia. She was a happy child, never had any problems discipline-wise. She had good grades, never any problems. When Lydia was 5, we moved into a house, a relatively old house. It was made in the 1950s and had a few previous owners, all of whom let the house go into bankruptcy. For a pretty big house with 3 bedrooms, one we turned into a computer room, 3 bathrooms, and a breakfast area, a sun deck, and a garden out back, we got it for a really cheap price for a house so big, just $150,000. After a few months of living there, something clicked in me. I stopped taking my medications, and I became aggressive and paranoid towards my wife. We fought a lot, and my daughter was always in the room. I had and still have an alcohol problem. I am a self-identified alcoholic. One time, after fighting about something I can't remember, I had a few beers and walked into the room where my wife was. My daughter was playing and drawing on the floor, watching Dora, and looked up watching. I grabbed my wife's chair and pushed it, holding her down to make sure she didn't stand up. I pushed her to the long hallway, trapping her, and pushed her to the stairs. I was going to push her down when my daughter stepped in front of the chair and I came back too. I was going to kill my wife, I realized. My daughter and wife were crying. She took Lydia and went into the room for the rest of the day, since there was already a bathroom in it. They didn't see the need to come out much besides to get food. I went upstairs to my and my wife's room and sat shocked of what I was about to do. "You shouldn't have done that," I heard, assuming it was my daughter because she had a child voice. I looked up and I was horrified. I saw a little girl. The little girl had long brown hair and brown eyes, just like my daughter, except she had a crooked nose like it was broken. Black and blues all across her body with swollen eyes and lips. Who are you?" I asked loudly, and she smiled sweetly. "I'm Sarah. I lived in this house a few owners ago. I protect the people that live in the house from abusers like yourself," she says softly with her eyes not blinking. I suddenly got a horrible image. The house looked brand new, and a dad walked in with his smiling daughter, who I assumed was Sarah. Seemed to shift to a few years ahead when Sarah looked slightly older, her hair longer, and she was taller in height. She was hiding in her room, her dad drinking downstairs. He storms upstairs and slams open her door. "Girl, I thought I told you to clean the house," he growled. I did," she squealed, her father grabbing her hair and pulling her to the ground. He starts to hit her for minutes and minutes. It felt like hours. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he pulls away the little girl, lifeless, bleeding out onto the floor. He takes her body and pours bleach in the bathtub. He submerged her body, letting it sit there as he cleans the blood with bleach and peroxide. He finally goes outside and digs a deep grave for a few hours back in the garden portion of the yard. He takes her body and puts it in the grave. He puts the dirt on top and starts planting flowers and vegetables to make it look less suspicious. For the next few days and weeks of getting questions from neighbors and teachers, he told them she went to live with her mother. Sooner than later, he went insane from guilt and hung himself. No one finding out until police came for a wellness check, since the mom called the police since he wasn't answering calls to the house. I came to and immediately threw up. She smiled. "You were going to kill your wife," she says, and walks towards me. I stammer. I won't do it again. Just let me live," I sob. She realized that I was telling the truth and told me that if I hurt Katie or my daughter specifically, I would die immediately. I nodded in agreement. I never hurt anyone in that house again. When Lydia was 7 and in 2nd grade, her mother and I got a divorce. She continued to live with me when I moved out and moved in with my new wife. She went and moved in with her mother. My daughter anymore for personal reasons. I don't know what happened to the ghost child, Sarah, and her father. I assume they're still there, but I guess I'll just never know. I hope you enjoyed that one. I know I did. If you did too, please consider hitting that like button. And if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe. Click that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. Feel free to drop a comment and I'll reply to as many as I can. If you would like to read the story, I will leave a link to it in the description below. If you have any stories that you would like me to narrate, please consider posting them in the subreddit I created just for you guys, r/Vashtra Reads. Until next time.